All right, so it happened. The New York Mets continue their selling as back-to-back good trades by Billy Epler. I got to give it to him. I guess he's good at one thing, and that is selling off assets. As the New York Mets trade Max Scherzer to the Texas Rangers for, you guessed it, Luisangel Acuna, which is the brother of Ronald Acuna Jr., of course, superstar of the Atlanta Braves, if you didn't know. And yeah, this is an absolutely huge W for Billy Epler, especially after how much Max Scherzer has been whining lately, especially last night in his post game. The comments that he made were just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know why bro thought that he was him or something, and why he thought that he had a say. I don't know what made him think that him going the Mets brass warranted anything. Like they were going to pick a direction to favor Max Scherzer and coddle him and please him. No, the second he walked through that door, they probably laughed in his face and said, "Yeah, we're going to trade your ass. Why not?" And thank God they did. From the constant complaining about the pitch com, from the constant "I'll be better" after every single start, even though he allowed 4 home runs, it was just beyond annoying. Max Scherzer did have some good moments for the Mets, and I'll never forget how excited I was when the Mets did end up signing him. So it's not like I'm going to fault the Mets for signing him in the first place because I was advocating for it. I wanted them to sign him, but it has just been an absolutely dumpster fire. It's just been a dumpster fire since they signed him. Last year, he was not horrendous as he had a 2.29 ERA, an expected ERA at 2.87, a FIP at 6 or 2.62 and a expected FIP at 3.23. So not a bad year at all for Max Scherzer. Had a 10.7 Ks per nine, 1.49 walks per nine, and a 0.81 home runs per nine. But the problem was that he didn't show up in the game against the Yankees. Against the Braves late in the year, he did not show up. And then, of course, in the wild card game against the San Diego Padres, he did not show up and he folded under pressure. And it was a constant thing. And this was not something new. This is something that he did in Washington. And it's just not foreign to Max Scherzer. And he was horrendous, absolutely horrendous in big games. And forget about it this year. He wasn't even, forget about big games. He was just horrendous in general. His last start will probably be his best start of the season. He had a good start against the Guardians. Hooray. I don't know what you want me to say to that, but his numbers this year are absolutely ridiculous. He's allowed, I think, like 22 home runs it was this season, where last year he only allowed around like 12 or 13, something like that. So it's just absurd how bad he truly was. And I cannot believe there are some fan bases that tried to get on Met fans for wanting this guy gone. Yeah, his home runs per nine was the highest it's ever been at a 1.92. The amount of hard contact he allowed all season long and will probably continue to allow all season long is just infuriating. 2.51 walks per nine. That is the what? That is the fourth or fifth worst in his career. Not the worst by any means, but 2.51, just not good enough. His case per nine was still solid at a 10.1. I wouldn't be shocked if the Texas Rangers get the most out of him and they make him a better pitcher. I really won't be shocked. But for the Mets, this is just a huge W because of the fact that I've been advocating, other fans have been advocating for a retool slash rebuild, and this is something that they needed to do because now Acuna comes in. He's the top prospect automatically in the organization, which is something that the Mets have needed. They've needed legitimate prospects because they are way too top heavy, and I would have liked another prospect involved. There was rumors about certain guys. We saw Brock Porter pulled early from his start, and we saw maybe Jack Leiter's name, and then the Rangers' 15th ranked prospect. I forgot his name, but we saw him in the mix as well. But that didn't end up coming to fruition. So the Mets end up just getting Acuna, and they also paid some money to get rid of Max Scherzer. They paid about like $20 million or something, and then Max also agreed to opt in to his contract next season, which I don't know why that even was a discussion or a thought that he might not. If he's guaranteed 40 plus million, I don't know why he wouldn't take it. He'd be stupid not to because at this point he has his ring, he has his Hall of Fame career on lock. I don't understand why he wouldn't just go for the money at that point and just opt into the contract. Again, he'd be stupid not to. To me, I think it came down more to if he wanted to move out of New York or not. And I don't understand why it even came down to that, considering the fact that in his post games nonstop, it sounded like he wanted out. So again, I'm very happy about this for Max Scherzer. A short-lived stint, not going to be a memorable one, and we're all going to laugh at it in a few years. Be like, "Ha! Remember when Max Scherzer came to the Mets when he was washed up and that dude sucked?" But again, at least he had one good season with the Mets, but still just a flop. And now this gives the Mets options because if they want to go in a retool direction, they got a nice young prospect and they have the luxury of spending money on the open market next year. They could go out and get Shohei Ohtani. They could go out and get Julio Urias to fill out the rotation if they in fact move Verlander. And then there's Yamamoto, who's probably going to come over to America, who the Mets are expected to pursue. So they have rotation options next year because Carlos Carrasco right now, he can't pitch. The score is right now 8-2. Carlos Carrasco is not good, which we'll do a post game later on that because I'm recording this as the game is going on because I was out as this trade ended up being finalized. But it was just annoying waiting all day. I was sitting, waiting, and then I leave my house, and sure enough, it happens. But regardless, I don't care. I'm glad that happened. And now the Mets, I really feel like are going to continue to sell. I really do. And I think that Justin Verlander is going to be the next guy to move. I think he's going to go back to the Astros or he'll go to the Dodgers. That's my prediction. But again, I am absolutely in love with this trade. Let's talk about Acuna now, though, as his scouting grade according to the MLB prospect ranking. Well, first of all, he's ranked third in the Texas Rangers prospect pool. That is absolutely absurd that the Mets were able to get a number 3 ranked prospect, and he's number 44 in the entire MLB for Max Scherzer, who has not pitched good whatsoever. His hit grade is a 55, power is a 50, run 55, arm 55, field 55, overall 55. He is 21 years old. He was born March 12th, 2002. Bats right-handed, throws right-handed. His swing looks very identical to his brother's swing, which is something that's promising. He has an ETA of next year also, which is exciting because Met fans were losing their mind and out of control hearing that when we got the prospects we did for David Robertson, Met fans didn't love it because they thought it made sense to get guys that would be ready next season. Well, now they have a guy that could be ready next season. And if he's not, oh, well, you let him over marinate and he comes over in 2025. It's not the end all be all, but I have very high hopes. 5'8", pretty short guy, weighs 181. Not, again, I'm not someone that cares really about that. And I'm just excited. The only question that I'm sure people are going to have, oh my God, we didn't get a pitching prospect. Oh my God, another second base shortstop prospect. I do not care. This guy is better than Ronnie Mauricio. He is. I don't care if Mauricio's killing it in AAA. I would rather Acuna take the reins there at second base, and Mauricio's learning some left field anyway. So I think we'll be fine here. And I really am curious if the Mets are going to start him off in Syracuse with the AAA squad. But to talk about his scouting report on the prospect ranking page here, it says Acuna signed out of Venezuela in 2018 for $425K, more than quadrupling the $100,000 bonus the Braves gave his older brother Ronald 4 years earlier. Acuna may not have his older brother's superstar ceiling, which would be cool if he did, but again, I'm not asking for him to be a superstar, but he does have the potential for solid tools across the board. He overcame a hamstring injury to bat 277, 369, 426 with 11 home runs and 40 stolen bases. Oh my God. In 91 games played between high A and double A last season. At age 20, helped Frisco win the Texas League Championship and stood out as one of the best all-around players in the 2022 Arizona Fall League. Acuna attacks pitches with an explosive right-handed stroke and an aggressive approach. He'll draw his share of walks and doesn't strike out excessively, but he chases and swings and misses too frequently against non-fastballs and doesn't always make quality contact. If he could settle down a bit and drive the ball in the air on a more regular basis, he could be a 270 hitter with 20 or more home runs per season, which sign me up if that is the case. Combining solid speed with savvy on the bases, Acuna has swiped 84 bags in 104 attempts during the past 2 seasons, earlier in his career, he faced some questions about his ability to remain at shortstop, but he has shown that he has the solid range and arm to do so. Corey Seager's arrival in Texas in 2022 may mean Acuna will move. Well, again, that doesn't matter, but he is going to have to move for Francisco Lindor unless the Mets are even trading him. Can't rule anything out at this point. But Acuna, who has the tools and athleticism to play all over the diamond and would fit especially well at second base or in center field. So they want to move Nimmo to the corner. Wouldn't be the worst option either. But to get into the numbers this year, that is where it gets very exciting. In Double-A, in 84 games played, he has 7 home runs, 51 RBIs, 42 stolen bases. You are hearing me right. 42 stolen bases, 9.2 walk percentage, 18.9 strikeout percentage, a 315 batting average, 377 on base, a 453 slugging, a WOBA at 376, and a WRC plus of 121. I am freaking excited. I am. He's going to come in and be the Mets' best prospect automatically. He easily is, and I cannot wait to see what he ends up being. And if he ends up being just even a decent player, I will take that any day of the week over keeping Max Scherzer around for another year or two, because whether they're trying to contend next year or not, I like the effort of getting prospects, getting younger, going through the process the right way, and rebuilding/retooling. It's the right thing to do, and it's getting exciting. It's going to be very exciting to see these prospects come up, grow, and they're going to hit it on at least a few of them. I can promise that. But let me know your thoughts on the trade in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next